Good morning, guys. It's January the 15th and Friday. I'm Henry Green from London Trading Group, and again I'm just going to go through the markets. So what we've seen this week has been a pretty sideways week is what I'd say. There's not been any particularly strong moves like there was last week. And again, I'm going to start by going through euro dollar and then continue on through the majors. So again, euro rallied up yesterday to 109.40. We kind of suggested that was a good sell zone, which it did, and it has sold off since then. Again, there's no clear direction in this as such yet. I do think it still goes lower. This is still a daily lower high, as you can see on this chart up here. So I do think it turns over, and I do think it goes lower. So if you mark in the fibs of where we think it's going to go, so I think that if we reject up here, we're at the 50 at the moment. If we get up to the 38, so back up towards 109, again it's a good sell area. And my first target for that will then be obviously the lows you've got to take out at 108.20, but I think then you bounce at 107.60. If you get the bounce there, you can then pull back up to sort of retest that area of the 108s, and then you go down and test the 107. So I don't think my 107 target I don't think will be hit this week. I think maybe early next week we go and try and test 107, but certainly this looks like it's going to roll over. We are in a bit of a range currently. You've had these low spikes, high spikes. Euro doesn't quite know where it wants to go yet, so just be looking to sell at good areas, and that will be my plan for euro. So if we move on to cable's another interesting one. We've actually formed the D finally on this one, down at a good level, down at 143. So I actually think that this is going to bounce now, and as such I'll be looking potentially to set up for longs in cable today. I think a retracement is quite an easy play. I think the risk is lower, and if it continually trades off, then if it continually sells off, then I think hopefully I won't have got my entry. But if you have a look at my 60-minute chart here, obviously we failed at the lows again. We've kind of made this what I call it's like a bottoming. Often what happens for me, if you get it at a key level and it bounces again, this is like a bottoming structure. So I'm just kind of looking for areas to potentially buy this. I think the risk, if you're going to take a trade, the risk is on the short side today now, and I do feel that you could easily get quite a good risk to reward by taking this long. So if we follow what it's done in the past, it's come back to retest the 8 EMA. Now that 8 EMA is up at 145. Now if my D on my 60-minute charts lines perfectly up with that, which suggests that that's a really good zone, so I'll put in my counter trend on my 15-minute. If I get a close below that after a higher low's been made, then I will be looking to take that and looking to take cable long today. So maybe we just go with small positions and add as it clarifies that it wants to go higher. But I think that's the safer play today in terms of a risk to reward ratio, because I think the shorts kind of you have to go through these lows before it becomes viable. Dollar yen. Dollar yen's rejected off my line again. I had that as quite a good level, so again I'm probably favouring the short side, but this past market angle has to break for this to happen. We have rejected off here again. We're still within this downwards fib, which is leading us down to the lows down at 115 area. So I don't think it's going to do that today, but I think 117.20 and then 116.20 on the way down, good levels. But a close through this past market angle has to happen first, before I'm looking to take this short. But again, on the daily, if I didn't have this line in, it looks like it's probably going to go higher. It struggled up at this 118.40 area once again. So if we break through 118.40, that opens up 118.80 through there. Obviously, then we go up to take on 119.60. So just be careful with that one. As I said, a close through this past market angle I've got in would be a signal for me to sell this, and potentially I would do that, or I might just play yen strength against other weaker pairs, so against probably the euro or the Canadian dollar. So looks like the Canadian dollar's having a go here. Dollar CAD's trying to go through this top level that it struggled at before. It will probably reject now. It's 6:30 in the morning, so I can't imagine it's going to blast straight through it this morning. We are at a D, so I'm just waiting for this to form. It obviously might not happen today, and we might see this continuation up. I think a 144.70 fade's probably quite a good level. I've got a good level of resistance up at 144.80. So if we've hit the D on the 60 minutes, if we don't get that pullback and it goes, I think maybe rejection at 144.70, and that could be your high today, and that could carry on. And that could carry the Canadian dollar lower against all of the basket of other currencies. So that's an interesting one as well. So Aussie, again, it struggled down. This 69.10 area is a really good zone for Aussie. I have had it break through my past market angle, and again, I'm looking to take on this 68.85 area. So we're at a higher level at the moment. If we were just playing the range, as we probably should do, because it's kind of gone into this range period, you've got to only be looking to sell up towards 70s and looking to buy down at 69s unless it goes through. So I wouldn't be looking to sell this yet. I think a sell is the safer zone back up at 70. I think then you get the risk to reward, which makes sense. At the moment, you're middle of the range, and so the sell is risky. I think here, unless you go through the lows, and then in which I think you can be selling it with a little bit more confidence. Kiwi looked very weak yesterday. This was the one that continually sold off. You've hit the D and pulled back into the 38 in terms of the hourly fib. We are through the lows now. 64, I said yesterday, was a very easy target to take on. I do think it probably has another crack at it today. We are trending really nicely downwards in this. So if we go through 64, then you are really opening up the bottom side. I think 63.30 is the next target. Should that happen. So again, wait for that pullback, wait for that lower high and a nice 15-minute lower high to be made, and then I'd be looking to sell that. So maybe through 64.30 to take on 64, through 64, then 63.30. So I think Kiwi looks weak today, and I think you could potentially play Kiwi weakness against the other currencies. So maybe against the pound, maybe against the yen, and they'd probably be my suggestions for today. Euro sterling. Again, hit the D. This is an interesting one. Euro sterling hit the D. We actually have accelerated past and hit the 127 without a pullback to the 38. So maybe a trade back down to 75.10 in euro sterling. Should we see cable hold there at those lows and euro come off, I think euro sterling could be a good trade for today. So euro sterling short. My other ones obviously would be pound Kiwi long. I think there's a nice matchup in that as well. So in terms of confluence, my confluence takes me to 127.50 in pound Kiwi, and I've also got that as a bit of a daily level up there as well. So maybe that could be an idea up, and that those kind of Ds match up pretty nicely up there. And as you can see on the daily, we've pulled back nicely into the 38. So the first target is obviously the 127 at 25.70, and then I think you through there either can then go higher, and you're taking on sort of the 127 high 127s areas. So again, so if we see yen hold up there, I think you can play yen strength against the other currencies. I think pound probably holds here. If it doesn't, it's going to be a quick move, and you might see a very sharp sell off in the pound. If dollar CAD goes through those top sides, definitely play Canadian weakness, and then euro, be careful, don't get caught up in that one. But yeah, it should be a good day trading. As I've said, please click subscribe to follow all these videos and never miss a market update. I will be back in on Sunday evening to go through what I expect for the coming week. There's also a link in the box below to lead to the virtual trading floor, so please join that as well. And I look forward to hearing your trading ideas. So please feel free to comment on the posts. They're always welcome, and I hope you have a good trading day. Thank you.